Hey, Corky coming to you from Alabama today. It's really hot down here, as is often the case in the South. Hope you're all doing well. Um, for several years, I was out west and playing with different musicians, doing a lot of solo work. Played in a restaurant, recorded, traveled with a Native American Christian worship band, did a lot of tent revivals and things like that. And then one time while I was teaching at a college in Muskogee, Oklahoma, I got invited to go sit in with a Native American blues band. There were Kiowa brothers down in Durant, Oklahoma. And Terry Sotai's watching now. Hey, Terry. He was a drummer and harp player for that Redmen blues band. And I got to sit in one night. I didn't practice with him at all. And, it was just one of the things. And so a Kiowa friend of mine had told him, you ought to let Corky sit in one night with y'all at the casino. And so they said, okay. And there was a telly waiting on me there and on the stage. And I went and sat in with this band. We played a whole set of, kind of standard blues, electric blues music. And when I got through and they came down, I asked the leader of the band, I said, how'd I do on my test? He said, well, I knew you had a bag of tricks or else Barry wouldn't have recommended you. But he said, by the time I thought you were through, you had a whole nother bag. So I'm calling this video the Classic Rock Bag of Tricks. A lot of you are going to think this is silly for me to do this, but I think it bears doing for people that want to preserve a style of music. Most of my YouTube viewers are above 50 years of age, and so I'm not really ashamed to talk about a lot of the tricks that we had and we do have in classic rock. And this also goes for Christian rock or blues rock and other things like that. The first one is what I call a Les Paul hammer-on. You can do it fast or you can do it slow. And I'm just doing it there because it's often done there. We thought Led Zeppelin or maybe Clapton or somebody, Hendrix, had invented that, but actually I was listening to a Chester and Lester album by Chet Atkins and Les Paul, and Les Paul does that and has done it all his career. He kind of plays a comic role in a duo, and in that case, Chet was a straight man playing the regular melodies, and Les Paul's cutting up, and all that. So the Les Paul hammer-on, and we called it oddly, oddly, oddly. You can do it up on the neck. So it's a hammer-on that you do, and Les Paul hammer-on. And I just did the Jimi Hendrix Thank You, and this is something you'll hear at different times. It's a little trick we do. Go up on the A string, slide up, and slide down with the E. And it's just a vocalization of the guitar. When I first started taking sitar lessons, I noticed that Ravi Shankar named a lot of his recordings the sounds of India. So making sounds is a part of rock guitar, American guitar playing. They may not be melodic. They may be a vocalization. Native Americans helped me understand the importance of this because in a lot of their powwow drum songs, they have vocables, which are not real words. They're just sounds they make singing, and vocables are a part of many different cultures in their language. It's kind of like the Beatles, "She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah." Well, they didn't intend to say yes, yes, yes. It was it was a vocable. So thank you, Jimi Hendrix. Thank you. The Jimi Hendrix hammer on, we might go here, and about the time he's doing that twice, he kicks in the wah-wah pedal. Now today I'm just running through a MXR carbon copy delay. I do have a Univibe plugged in and a blues driver. That's what I'm using, a Boss blues driver. I used that in my contest at the Guitar Center, and it worked very good. I think it's Boss. Yeah, I think so. But anyway, I don't have dazzling racks of effects, but I want to use them sometimes when I'm talking about the guitar because they are used in that music. And my whole pedal board is a Vox wah-wah pedal, Octavio Jimi Hendrix pedal, a Boss blues driver, MXR Univibe carbon copy delay, and then I have a Raul Julia chorus. But today just delay and distortion and a little Univibe. Okay, so all right. One that I want to point out are octaves. Now, I just did Santana licks video. And then the Santana licks, Carlos Santana is a tribute player. In other words, he honors other musicians. And this brings about the idea of quotations in jazz music. Those of you who are jazz fans know that an artist may play a John Coltrane run, or they may play a Miles Davis run. When Santana does his quotations, he often will play a Doors passage, or he will play a Bob Marley passage, and a John Coltrane, and it's a way to honor. So when we use these techniques and these tricks in rock guitar playing, we intend for them to be quotations. In other words, when you hear this octave here, it's a B. I've got a B, low B note, and then my little finger's on the G string, and everything else is muted. When you hear octaves like that, the low ones especially, we're hearkening back to Jimi Hendrix because he used those all the time in the bridge pickup. Right? Or in the neck pickup. Which is really a tribute to Wes Montgomery, okay? And when we do it, especially in the bridge pickup, then we're hearkening to Hendrix. Also, Duane Allman kind of did a tribute to Hendrix by doing these things here, and we also, when we do these, we're tributing Duane Allman. Those little two-note thing, double stops. Okay, so octaves are a part of the whole thing, and they especially give tribute. One thing Hendrix did with the vibrato bar, like he started that right there. And he even would take it and without picking go. And what I'm doing there is with just my left hand. I'm not as good at that. Some of you will remember that Purple Haze was played with just the left hand. He didn't use the right hand. The solo was played that way. So what Hendrix would do would be wiggle the the tremolo bar when he's going down the neck. Okay. One other thing that's in the rock playing in the bag of tricks is what I call a scratch off. Songs are ended like that. You're using the flat side of the pick and just going down the neck. You got to keep control of it though. Sometimes guys would do it as an intro to a solo, but it's an effect. I call it a scratch off. Growls. Now, the person that I really got my growls from was Alan Holdsworth. Listen to Alan Holdsworth. And so let's say we're in the key of A. So that growl is a bend, and when you do that growl down low, you got to pull a whole step. So that G pulls to an A. And then a lot of times, it comes from American guitar playing. Johnny Cash, his guitar player, Luther Perkins, used it a lot. And a lot of people think that they was doing it on 3rd fret. It's a second fret. But we use these growls in going up to chords like what I'm doing there is I'm bending from G up to the A, and then I'm releasing it as I hit that A chord. Those growls, you can use them. And that was one of the first things that attracted me about sitar playing in Indian classical music is those low growls that you can get on the sitar. Maybe one day I'll get good enough where I'll show you some of them. Growls, so, Phil Keggy is great at that.